Hello! Today I'm going to be giving you a quick demonstration on how to make a decision. I know there's a lot of different ways to make decisions. This is just one way, but it's a way I've talked about in class several times, and some of my students wanted something to refer back to, so that's what this video is about. Two quick words. One, I'm going to be making things up more or less as I go along. So with the exception of the prices to get into these businesses at the beginning, everything that I say will be off the top of my head. It won't be necessarily accurate in exactly how the world is. The process of the purpose of this video is to show the process, not necessarily give you facts on exactly how to start a McDonald's. Okay? The second thing is I've set the camera to focus on the board. So if I'm slightly out of focus, that's just the way it has to be for this. Not perfect, but it's better than not being able to see the board when the important stuff's going to be written on the board. Okay, so we're talking about choices, and when we're talking about making a choice, we're talking about choosing between things based on certain criteria and how important they are. So the four parts to what we're going to talk about are the choice, the criteria, and the scale with the weights that we're going to use to make the choice. Okay, so we're going to decide today whether we should open a Golden Corral, which is a franchise all-you-can-eat buffet, or a McDonald's, or our own concept restaurant. Okay? So those are the three choices that we need to look at. And we're trying to decide between the three of these. We think we might be able to do all of these. We think we might like to do all of these. So any one of them at this point is okay. So the first thing we're going to look at is a go or no-go decision. So it is possible that some criteria that you're going to use to make a decision are so important that if the concept does not qualify on that one criteria, nothing else matters. In this case, for example, to start a McDonald's costs $1 to $2 million. To start a Golden Corral cost about $6.75 million, and we're pretty sure that whatever our own concept for a restaurant is, that we can get it done for $1 million. Now, it doesn't mean all in cash, it doesn't mean we have to have that pile of money sitting there, but with cash and financing, we're pretty sure we can get that done. So when we look at these facts, if we don't have access to $6 million, let's say we have, after we talk to ourselves, our bankers, our friends and our family, we mortgage our house, we sell our car, we put all our money in a big pile, and we can get access to $3 million worth of capital, it doesn't matter what else we do, we can't do the Golden Corral. So the Golden Corral just simply is not an option for us. And in decision making, sometimes things get knocked out. Even if they're a fantastic idea, they get knocked out just because you can't do them. In this case, we can't do the Golden Corral. So we're going to make the decision between two alternatives that we are actually capable of making a decision between. So you've seen, you've heard people say, I'm sure, I would never pay $1 million for an automobile. Well, unless they have $1 million, their opinion doesn't matter. And our opinion on Golden Corral doesn't matter because we can't pay it. So, what criteria are we going to use? Well, the first criteria we used was money to get started. But that was a go or no-go decision, so we just eliminated the one. Now we're going to go next, and let's look at a few other criteria that might be important. Let's say chance of success. How about freedom to be creative. How about the prestige of owning our own business? And then how about profit potential? Okay, so we have 4 criteria to make this decision. Alright, so you see what we've done here at this point. We have our 2 options, we have 4 criteria. Now, if we put in actual numbers in here, chance of success, you might say at McDonald's, well, McDonald's says they have a 99% success rate. So we could put in 99%. And then we might say our own concept restaurant, well, there are people who will tell you 4 out of 5 businesses fail in the first few years, and so on and so forth. But if we start putting actual numbers in here, it gets very, very difficult. So what we might want to do is we might want to have some sort of a scale. Like, let's say a 5-point scale where we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll say 1 is lousy, 2 is bad, 3 is average, 4 is good, and 5 is awesome. Okay, so this is our custom lousy to awesome scale. We go through these ideas. So what is the chance of success for McDonald's? Well, if we believe their literature, we'd have to say it's awesome. There are reasons not to believe that, and we might adjust that a little bit, but let's just go with it for now. So we'll say the chance is awesome. And our own concept restaurant, well, we would have to say lousy, but we're going to believe that we're a little bit better than the average person, so we're going to give ourselves an average chance of success. You notice we deviated from what maybe some statistician might say, but this is our decision and we have to make it based on our beliefs, and we believe we have at least an average chance of success. Okay, freedom to be creative. Well, with McDonald's, how creative can you be? Have you ever been to a themed night at a McDonald's? Have you ever had mixed spaghetti? Actually, they did have mixed spaghetti at a couple restaurants. But in general, at McDonald's, you're going to serve quarter pounders with cheese and hamburgers and Big Macs, right? The menu is not under your control. Is the restaurant layout under your control? Nope. Is the price under your control? Nope. How about the advertisement? Nope. Nothing is under your control. So we're going to say for freedom to be creative, we're pretty much at a 1. And with our own restaurant, with no one telling us what to do, we're definitely going to have to say we could really be creative. Okay, so next thing we look at is prestige. How prestigious is it to own a McDonald's? You are a business owner, right? You own a McDonald's. Is it any less prestigious because it's a McDonald's, or is it any more prestigious because it's a McDonald's? That would be up to you. For me, I would say it's about average. So we'll put it as a 3. How about your own restaurant? Is owning your own restaurant more prestigious or less prestigious than owning a McDonald's? It probably depends on who you ask. If we're going to put our name in the title of the restaurant, maybe that'll bump it up a little bit. If we're going to be completely behind the scenes, I don't know. It's to me, it's more or less the same, but let's make it a little bit better. Let's say we're going to call it whatever your name is, restaurant. So maybe a little bit more. Okay, profit potential. Well, again, this is going to be a judgment call. So McDonald's can tell us exactly what our profit is going to be year to year. They are really, really good at that. They can say, okay, you're in this market with this much foot traffic, this much car traffic, you're going to make X or Y amount of money. So let's just place them at a 3, and then let's consider our profit for McDonald's. Are we going to be better at making money than McDonald's? I don't know. I don't really, I have no feeling for that. If you're starting a business, you may feel like, hey, I could do better than McDonald's. Or you may feel like, hey, there's no way I'm going to be as good at making money at McDonald's, and that's not the point. The point is I want to offer great food and make enough money to live on. So you score it however you want to. For this example, we're going to score it even. So we'll say we're about the same, we're in the same category there. Okay, now, the next thing we need to decide is, are any of these things more important than the other? So, that's again a personal decision. Now, to me, the most important thing on this list would be freedom to be creative. To you, the most important thing on this list might be chance of success. You might think, I really, really don't want to sink my life savings into something and fail. But I've failed businesses before, and if I fail another one, it's not the end of the world. So that's not a huge deal to me. To me, it would be freedom to be creative. To some people, they want to be seen as an upstanding member of their community, and that's the most important thing to them. To other people, the most important thing is how much money can I make. Now, the fact of the matter is, the way we've scored this, profit potential is completely irrelevant because it's the same for both of them. So it might as well not even exist. If the businesses are the same on any dimension, that dimension is no longer important for making a decision between those two things. Right? Just like, we eliminated one business because we just simply couldn't afford to do it, this profit potential is unimportant because we've determined that both of these businesses make about the same amount of money. Okay, so let's look at this. I think, let's say that the most important thing is prestige. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our number for prestige and we're going to multiply it by 2 because we've said that's the most important thing. So let's get out our handy dandy eraser and multiply this number. So we have a 6 and an 8. So now what we have done is, to a certain extent, we've quantified this decision. Now, that being said, it's not just simply a matter of, hey, let's add this up and whichever one's the highest we're going to do. This is an information gathering tool. But let's add it up and see what we get. We have 12 to 8, and 8 is 16. So our restaurant, our concept restaurant, scores significantly better than the McDonald's. The only downside for our restaurant is the chance of success. So what we have to do now is, it indicates we should probably try this, and now we just have to make the decision, are we comfortable with the lower chance of success because everything else is better. Now you notice we didn't just say, okay, 16, that's what we go with. This is just another information point that we use to help make our decision. And that is one systematic decision-making process that you can use when trying to decide between alternatives. You will find this in textbooks. You will find this in all over the place. You'll see systems like this that will have pieces of this or the whole thing. So this is not an unusual thing. You'll encounter it in your life and your business career several times, and now you've seen an example of how to use it. Thanks for your time.